We are live. That took its time. I had that thing where you think, oh no, the tech isn't going to work, which every now and again I get that panic. And because the tech has worked all week for the challenge, I'm now like, when is the tech going to go wrong? And I thought this was going to be it, but it hasn't. It's worked. We're live. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you again. As you know, I am interviewing many people that have done my One-to-Many program. I do this every year, just so that you can see lots of different types of people and the different kinds of things that they bring out and the different kinds of industries they're in, because it's all very different. Yeah, thank God it's worked. Yes, it's worked. Do not worry. We are here. If you can all do us both a favor and give me some hearts and thumbs up so that more people will be able to see it. I feel like me and Facebook have a relationship now where I'm winning. So yeah, let's continue that trend and beat that algorithm. Evening, guys. Nice to see you. That's a collaboration right there, Tom and Lisa. Yeah, we were having a right little chat then, and then we decided to bring you on so that you could hear it. And Tom's just done his he does like a cocktails and conversations kind of thing in his own group, and so he's still on a cocktail.
Chin chin.
I don't have one.
it's a much more. Karen was on the call, was on the live, and I've gone easy because I knew I was coming into something with a somewhat bigger audience, so I thought easy does it, Tom.
You've done all right. So let me introduce you guys. If any of you don't know Tom, this is Tom Stanhope. There is nothing that Tom doesn't know about video and making sure that you use video in your content, because we all know that video is king in 2022. It's like where everything's going. So we all need video. So Tom did One-to-Many. When was it, Tom?
It was Danny and I were having this conversation. Was it the April of 2020? Was that when they launched? It was like the early 2020 One-to-Many.
Yeah, so 2020. And so when you first came in, and then if some of you may have listened to my podcast this week, which was Tom and Danny. Yeah, love the podcast interview with Danny. That's what Tom was doing this week with Danny. So you might know a bit of the story already. Matt wants to know, is that Shirley Temple?
No, it's actually called an Americano, which is just a measure of red vermouth and a measure of aperitivo with ice and a slice. It's very nice.
Nice. Matt, is Shirley Temple the only one you know? I feel like it is. So, Tom, why did you decide to come into One-to-Many?
So the story is a slightly convoluted one, in as much that I had started this in 2019 and 2018. I'd sort of started a process of wanting to move away from the fact that I was really aware of the fact that I was doing a lot of work that I wasn't necessarily 100% in love with, and that I was doing a lot of high volume, quite low value stuff, and thinking there must be a better way to do this. And Danny Wallace, because the reason Danny and I were having a chat is because actually Danny Wallace is the reason I ended up in your world. So Danny and I have been talking about sort of what I needed to do, and sort of it had been percolating around. I knew that I wanted to sort of really step up this game where I was stopping this kind of endless treadmill of trading my time for other people's small amounts of money at the time. And I thought, this is crazy. And so the challenge came up, Race to Recurring Revenue, and I got in. I got really stuck in, and I did it. And it was, and obviously this is sort of 2 years ago, and it was not quite such an epic affair as it is now.
Yeah, it was a bit smaller then, wasn't it?
It was, but even so, it was amazing atmosphere, hugely supportive, and I got in there, and I did all the work, and I got to the end of the week, and I was like, crap, I'm not, I know myself. If I don't have the support and the kind of the kind of all of the, because you said all the bits in the challenge are there. You sort of come at the end, and it's like but I know how I am, and I know that I respond really well to having that supportive community.
You need a bit of accountability.
Absolutely. I am an accountant. I'm someone who responds quite well to either sticks or carrots, but it's a combination of the two, self-imposed sticks or carrots, so, but it was having that community, having that support, and thinking, if I don't do this, I will bitterly regret it. The other factor, and it was a really important one, of course, is that start of 2020, my business had disappeared.
Oh yeah, of course, because of the
so
pandemic.
I couldn't get out. So I was like there, twiddling my thumbs, going, I should really be doing more about this. And so I'd started my group up. I'd started my free group up kind of back in sort of tail end of 2019, and it was building up. And I'd started doing content to cocktails back then, and so I'd sort of started to lay some of the foundations, but without much purpose. And I think it was that combination of sitting in on the challenge, mapping out what I wanted to do, and thinking, I've got, my next steps are, have to be really clear and really intentional if I am to survive as a video maker who cannot get out there and make videos.
Yeah,
because we were all using video, and it was a perfect time for it. So I thought, right, okay, I've got to do something about this.
Yeah, what a great time to do it. And you weren't one of these people that we were just talking before about. You weren't somebody that felt like they were in a race in one to many. There are some people in one to many that is like, I'm going to be the first person to make 50 grand or 100 grand. You weren't like that at all. You were like steady. You're going to learn everything first, weren't you?
Yeah. So my take on it was that I'm in a race with myself. That's the only person I'm racing against. And that I had a lot to learn. So I knew that this is a way of doing business that I didn't understand. And I use this analogy on the podcast. I'm not looking for a coach. I'm looking for somebody to train me, to give me the information I need. I don't go to a driving instructor and have them sit next to me and say, go on, you can do it. I need somebody who's going to be supportive, but give me the tools to do what I need to. I need them to show which lever to pull, which gear to put things in, and how to do that. I'm not after just the sort of support. I'm after the whole thing. And one to many delivered all that. So I was like the 24-hour bonus. I was like, yeah, I'm having that. Yeah, I'm in. And so
you were in.
Yeah, and I was in. And so it was right from the start. The attitude I came in with is like, I just wanted, when I do this, I want to be, I'm a sort of a measure twice, cut once kind of person. I want to get it right. And for me, the getting it right was not doing it at a sort of a running pace.
Yeah, actually take in the info. Yeah, and then implement. And you have, have you implemented? Yeah. So tell us a bit about what's changed for you since doing one to many.
I'm richer. Well, the brutal truth is, I'm loving what I do. I've got more money. I've got more time. Is there more, and frankly, it's not a long answer. It's the honest one. But
that's what we teach people. Yeah. Like that's what passive income does: more time, more money, and you get to do the passion.
You can overcomplicate this stuff sometimes. I think the sort of the what's it given me? It's given me all the things I was looking for in my old business, but the old business could never really give me, which was this, really lovely clients. So I'm working now with people who are my ideal customers. It's kind of, that on its own would be a win. But the fact that I'm able to share my knowledge in a way that maximizes my time, maximizes the amount of people I can help, and maximizes the kind of the gain I make, but all in an ethical way, with integrity and kind of in a way that feels frankly right up my street.
Brilliant. So your course, so you've got different things that you've done.
Yeah, I've just seen Matt's comments down there. That is not helping, Mr. Wars. It did help. I had a luscious head of hair.
Somebody's put, I've got it wrong, and spent £750 twice on courses to get me. to get me going online and not got what I want and need from them. Yeah, it is frustrating. I spent 30,000 doing exactly that at the beginning with a coach that didn't give me what I needed. So, it happens, and I totally understand that. So do you have a course out right now, or you have a course coming out?
Well, yes, I do, Lisa.
Talk about that.
So there's a the beautiful thing is that I've now got multiple streams to kind of to bring the money in, and there are ways that I love. So the core of what I do is Video Academy. Video Academy is launched twice a year, probably going to be moving towards once a year, just because actually it's a big piece of work. And that is going to be launching end of May, start of June. So that's the thing that I mapped out and really kind of crafted as a result of one to many. I've been teaching people how to make video right from the early noughties. So I've got over 20 years of experience in video, and I started out teaching kids how to do this in pupil referral units. So I was working with kind of kids who've been excluded from school. That's a tough crowd.
Yeah.
And so I've been involved in the TV industry right from that point all the way through to now, and kind of, so I'm bringing all that knowledge into that course. But I've also got a membership which is about to have a relaunch, which is called Video Skills Made Easy, and that's something which I found a bit hard. If I'm frank, I've found a bit harder to do, to sort of find the sweet spot for, because my initial take, and I'd say anybody who's kind of doing the membership thing, my instinct was to give it all away, but that's not what people want.
Not what people want. It overwhelms them, and so people leave because there's too much in here. There's too much to do. Yeah. So it's great that you've got the two things. You've got other things as well, haven't you? Like you've got something coming up, like a sort of retreat type of thing, haven't you? Because I want to go on it.
Yes, exactly. Yes. This is really interesting. So one of the things that I've always loved doing are in real life events, and the retreat is going to be something that this is sort of in a development stage still, because we are myself, Chantal Davison, and Charlotte Wibley have been talking about the whole, basically, get your funnel done, get your copy done, get the tech done, get your video content done. So we're going to be hiring a house in Italy.
Amazing.
People can turn up for 3 days and it will be done for you. But it's done for you in a setting where there will be chefs making food for you, pools, and I'm the sort of person who likes a bit of comfort in life. And
you can tell that, Tom.
Yes. What can I say? What can I say? So when I do this stuff, I've wanted to get it right. So it's been through a few iterations in terms of on paper, and I think kind of we've actually because I'm hugely fortunate to be part of your mastermind, and so these are people I've met through doing the mastermind, and those are relationships that have been built and grown, and we're kind of we're sort of playing around with how that idea works. But there seems, the last time I talked about it, there was kind of there were about 40 people put their hand up and said, yes, I'd like that, please. So we know that there's kind of there's something about being away, and and you get way more done. There we go. I can see Megan saying we're a family. It has felt like a family. That's the mastermind stuff. But yeah. So there's the retreat, and then there's other things like the virtual video recording sessions where I do every month. I do 10 people, a bunch of virtual video content, and that's it. So little things like that kind of that sort of augment and bolt on and help people on their journey with video. But yeah.
So with video this year, like we keep hearing video is the thing, video is the way to go. I'm a big believer in using video and repurposing it into lots of different things. I think it's so important. And you and I did a video together for my mastermind, to show people that. What do you think what are the trends coming in with video? Is it all reels? Like what's happening with video?
Okay, I mean, so there's a few different things going on here. And so I'll take it a step back. And I think there are trends, but there will always be fundamentals. So when I did one to many, at the time, I was lucky in as much that I picked up a contract working for a a tech company, and I'd been given this ridiculous title of global head of video, which is like, I wasn't really. I was basically the kind of the content clown in the corner. Basically, it's like people threw things at me, and I turned them into video. But it was a great. It looked very good on LinkedIn.
Sounds glamorous.
It was. I wish the pay wasn't. I can tell you that. But at the time, it was very welcome I was asked that question at the start of that. It's like, what are the trends? I was like, well, actually, what we need to do is we need to look at the fundamental stuff. We need to get that video visibility strategy in place to work out how we can get ourselves in front of the right people and get them to remember it. Because the company, whilst it was doing almost $1 billion of business a year, that was, that was a small company in the space. Yeah. So we were sort of fighting hand to hand in many ways, being sort of a little scrappy $1 billion company. The fundamental approach was we just have to be more visible to the right people at the right time. So when they are thinking about buying data center cooling systems, it is us who appear with the messaging. And that's
the same now. That's the same here.
That doesn't change. So, we have the tactics and we have the strategy, and the tactics, the trends, the kind of reels, those are the delivery systems, but the fundamentals are all about the being seen and being seen at the right time by the ideal audience when they're thinking. For me, YouTube, if you want to sort of focus on something, take a look at YouTube, because it's massively underutilized. Yeah. It's slightly hard to sell because a lot of entrepreneurs look at it and go, that looks like a lot of trouble. That looks like hard work. And to be honest,
it's easy.
It is, but it means there's more opportunity there. You can connect with your audience at the point when your audience is looking for an answer for something. So my sort of take on this is you have to look at the fundamentals. And that is, so for example, when I started doing one-to-many, I said to myself, I haven't got time to do pre-recorded video. I'm just going to do live video all the way through. And I said, I'm going to do live video, multi-streaming on Facebook and really focus. That's where my audience was. And all I did was live video twice a week, an hour. But it was formatted. People knew when I'd be turning up, and they knew if they tuned in, they'd be getting a lot of value from me. If somebody wants to, they can go and look back over 3 years of lives and get my entire knowledge. All of my course knowledge is in there. It's not in sequence, and you will have to watch me drink a lot of cocktails. And if I'm honest, some Thursday nights are a little bit tipsier than others, but
we've all been there. Yeah. My Instagram story shows it, and that's okay. We're authentic and we're real.
Yeah. So trend wise, I'd say there are always going to be the next things and the next things and the next things. But if you've got that fundamental strategy, that fundamental content creation strategy nailed down, it doesn't matter. You can plug those trends into it, and it's a delivery system.
Because you've got your fundamentals. That's brilliant. What a great answer. So I'm going to ask you, who do you think you would recommend one-to-many to? Because obviously it's not for everybody. Nothing is for everybody. Who do you think it's great for?
Okay, so there's the personal experience answer, and I would say this is one where you will be feeling something. So at the time when I was doing it, I was feeling really kind of trapped in the work I was doing. I was finding myself rapidly falling out of love with something that I did actually love. I love video. It's, I don't know much, but what I do know is video. And it was, falling out of love with that thing that has been part of your life, you're working on for 20 years, is a heartbreaking thing to do. And so I was in a position where I was going, I don't think I can keep doing this. I was working for people who didn't value what I was doing, was being screwed down on price. I was we were doing a lot of work through agencies, and that is not great. We were always on the bottom of the pile in terms of our, despite the knowledge and the expertise we had, we were always being sort of lent on. And if you are the sort of person who is at that point where you are thinking, I'm not sure I can keep doing this, but I'm not sure what else I can do, it's a really, really good chance to, a really good moment to take a look at the way that you can take all the knowledge, all the expertise, all the passion that is in your head, and connected up with people who are going to go, thank God you're here.
Yeah, people that love what you do.
Yeah. And so for me, that is, that's, if you're feeling that, I would say that one to many is 100% worth looking at really seriously. I'd made my decision after day one. I was like,
well, yeah, you already knew. You were just like, I'm in.
Yeah. And, but if you're feeling that, I'd say do really give it serious consideration, because it's I'm never going to tell somebody to go and do something, because we've all got our choices to make.
Absolutely.
But if you are feeling that, if you are feeling in that sort of trapped moment with your business, it can be it was a liberation.
It's also why I started it, for exactly that reason. Because there were all these people who were working in corporate going, well, I know this and I'm an expert in this and I can do this, but I hate my job. It's like, well, don't do it then. Do this instead. And then you'll like your job again, and you'll make more money, and you'll be able to go on holidays and still make money. And that's what it's all about for me, like that freedom of being with family and that kind of thing. Tommy, it's been brilliant to talk to you. I could just talk to you all day. Like, we always have these chats, and I feel like I could just chat all day, especially because I'm so interested in video. Matt, our lovely friend Matt, has put your Facebook group in the comments. So if you're interested in video and learning more about how you can utilize video, do go on there. Could we get a link to Tom's course? Yeah, Tom will go back on here afterwards. He will put links to anything that you want in here. Natalie Crow says 100%. I've done one-to-many twice and it's incredible and so worth it. It can be such an empowering experience. Thanks, Natalie. So yeah, if you are thinking about one-to-many, it comes out on Monday at about 9 p.m. And I have a masterclass coming on Monday evening at 8 p.m. where I'm going to tell you all about it. But even if you want to come to that masterclass and actually you're not thinking about coming into one-to-many, that's okay too, because I'm going to tell you quite a lot of information in that masterclass that's going to help you anyway, because that's what integrity is all about. So I will see you there. I will be back for more interviews. I think I've got 2 tomorrow and then some next week as well, so you can hear from a real diverse range of people, because that's what this is about. It's not like a cookie cutter program. It's something that can work for lots of different people in lots of different ways. Tom, I will let you get back to your cocktails. Not feeling jealous. And I will speak to you all tomorrow. Have a good night, whatever it is you're doing.